What's your name?
My name's Amanda Reynoso-Palley.
And what organization do you work for?
I work at Day One. I'm a lawyer at Day One. At Day One, we partner with young people 24 and under to end dating violence and domestic violence.
Okay. So I'm going to ask you two questions. The first question is, do you think there's a link between sexual harassment and dating violence?
There definitely is a link between sexual harassment and dating violence. They can overlap in certain aspects. Oftentimes, both of them deal with one person who has power in some kind of relationship. It could be, well, in dating violence, it's always in a romantic relationship. However, for sexual harassment, it could be an employment relationship. It could be students at school. The only difference that I see with dating violence is that with dating violence, we're specifically talking about when one partner in a relationship uses a pattern of controlling and sometimes violent behavior to exercise power over the other person in that relationship.
Are there any early signs a person should recognize that they're in an abusive relationship?
Yeah, so dating violence can take many different forms. Some of the main forms that we see are physical, sexual, technological, financial, and verbal and emotional. And one caveat for the technology side is that we often see partners use technology to commit all of the other types of dating violence. And oftentimes dating violence might start off with a partner who just constantly is checking up on their partner. So with young people, we'll see oftentimes for our clients, it will start off with their partner is constantly messaging them throughout the day. Or if they're not responding let's say they're not responding to text, then they switch to Facebook Messenger or to Snapchat, constantly needing to know what they're doing and who they're with. So those can be sort of early warning signs.
What's the age range of people you usually work with?
So at Day One, we work with people 24 and under. I would say usually about 13 to 24 is sort of our overall age range. But we do a lot of work. So for legal services, because I'm a lawyer, which I'm not sure that I mentioned before, for legal services, we work with mostly young people between the ages of 13 and 24. But we have community educators who work with people. We're starting a new program where they're educating young people as young as kindergarten. So really trying to get to as many young people as we can of all ages.
Have you ever witnessed the people who come to you for help go back to the same abusive relationship?
I think it's really common. It's very difficult to leave an abusive relationship. I think it's something society in general tends to it can victim blame someone who's experiencing a dating violence relationship and say, oh, why didn't that person just leave? But we know that there's many reasons why people don't leave relationships. And like one of them could be that they really love someone. Another reason could be that they're very scared to leave. We know that statistically, people who are leaving violent relationships, that's the period that is most dangerous for them once they leave. So there's so many reasons why someone might go back, and it is something that we see a lot.
Do you think victim blaming is what keeps people from coming forward?
I think it's definitely a large reason why many people don't come forward. I think especially for young people, what we see with our clients is this idea that adults won't take them seriously, that they're going to think, oh, this is just, young love, this isn't a real issue. And that's why we really like to focus on dating violence among youth, because we know that it is a real issue and young people are really experiencing that.
Why do you think some people stay in abusive relationships?
I think that's similar to the reason why people might go back to abusive relationships. Oftentimes it can be that this is someone that they really care about. Sometimes there's controlling tactics that are used to make someone stay. As we've seen, it can be financial abuse, for example, where a partner has made their partner really reliant on them and it's very difficult to leave. For a lot of our clients, they have children with their partners. And so when you have children, that adds another step that can make it even more difficult to leave someone. But there's a whole host of reasons.
There's a stereotype that only women are the only people who experience this. How often do you have men come to you?
I can't say exactly what number of men we get, but dating violence is something that all people experience regardless of race, class, gender, identity, sexual orientation, and age. So we see dating violence sort of across the spectrum. It does not discriminate.
How do cases of abuse usually end if the person being abused doesn't seek help?
Well, they can end in multiple ways. Best case scenario, the relationship breaks up for some other reason, but often it can turn really scary. They tend to get more violent as it goes on. It can lead to hospitalization and, unfortunately, like absolutely worst case scenario, it can lead to death.
Do you have any advice for anyone in an abusive relationship?
I think the best advice is to listen to themselves because they know what's best for themselves. I think we're constantly telling people, especially young people, what's best for them. But at day one, we work from an empowerment model that believes that young people know what's best for themselves. And we believe that if we invest in young people and we give them the tools, they're going to know how to use those tools to succeed. But my best advice would be to listen to themselves and just to try and seek out the support that they've gone to in the past to help them. So a typical day at day one might be that we've received, for me personally, since I'm a lawyer, so I'm working with young people who've experienced dating violence, my first interaction might be with a young person who's called our hotline, who's come and said, I'm experiencing some things and I don't feel safe and I'm looking for some support. And so they'll come in and we interview them. They'll meet one-on-one, usually with myself or one of the other attorneys, and we ask them to tell us what their goals are in meeting with us. Because again, we're not going to tell them exactly what they have to do. We're looking to hear about what they're experiencing and how we can help them fix whatever they're going through in the way that they want it to be fixed. So we'll listen to what they've been going through, and then oftentimes they'll ask us a lot of questions, and we answer as best we can. And then we safety plan, and we figure out what's going to work best for them so that they can continue their lives safely. Sometimes that will mean that we're going to go to family court and we're going to get an order of protection, because in family court, for a young person, they can go get an order of protection against anyone with whom they've had an intimate relationship. And so if we're going to family court, that can be sometimes a very long process. Sometimes it's over really quickly if the person who's been harming them consents to an order of protection. We have some great social workers who will walk through, they do counseling, but they also will help with like public benefits and getting housing. Just really they try and provide as much support as possible so that someone can continue to live a safe and healthy life.
Do you ever have people outside the relationship, like a family member or a friend, come to you to report something?
We definitely have a lot of family members who come to us. That happens a lot. We have parents who come. And we are happy to listen and to share advice, but for us, we're not going to do anything unless the person that we're going to end up working with wants us to help them. We think that that's sort of part of the empowerment model as well. We can't force someone to do something that they don't want to do. And so we're going to wait. We might, if the parent wants, they can share information with whoever is going through the dating violence, and just let them know that we're here if they ever want to talk.
Are the people you work with usually compliant, or does it take them a while to come out?
Well, the people that we work with, they've sought out our services. So they almost always are looking for our support. So they're usually, they really want to move forward with whatever path they've chosen, because we also give them options. So, for example, we have some people who come forward and they want to go to family court to get an order of protection because they're not interested in getting the criminal court or the criminal system involved in their lives. And there's so many reasons why people might not want to get police involved or go to criminal court, because it can be a really scary experience. So we'll kind of give background on how there's the family court option, which is completely separate from the criminal court option. And then we also talk about what criminal court would be like if that's something that they want to pursue. And then another option is just working through schools, so through high schools, colleges, young people have a right to be free from sexual harassment, and that extends to their schools. And if sexual harassment is taking place at their school, the school has a duty to respond to that and to make sure that it ends. So, one level of advocacy could just be getting a no contact order at the school where the student goes, so that they're not having to deal with that person at school anymore. So we provide all these different paths, and then the young person gets to choose what feels best for them in their life.